Johannes, congratulations, first time win. Must be delighted with the end result. Just give us your overall thoughts.
I think it's maybe some of the best football that we played in the beginning of the game today. The first 20-25 minutes. First that big chance for Sarge after a couple of minutes. Great goal from Kellen. But I like the attitude. I like the way that we approached that 25 minutes of first half. I'm pleased with that. Then there's some moments in the game where I think we're getting too passive. And I think we invite them in and we invite too many situations in and around our box where I think these moments we have to look at why we are getting passive, why we not just keep pushing. But overall, a great performance and some beautiful goals, really.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, very positive, but 3-1, was that one of them phases you felt that spell there? Maybe even when it went 1-1 between end and half time?
I actually think after 1-1 it was okay. It took us a couple of minutes to get back in the game, but I think we ended that first half well. I think we started second half well. So I think there was a good response from the team. It was more this period where we scored 3-1, beautiful goal, got a little bit too passive and a little bit too much setting back instead of doing even more of what we're good at. And that's going to be the main point for me going into next week with the team, that we have to go up and see if we can score the next one just straight after a goal and not be passive.
Obviously, you probably want to accentuate the team performance, but that was an interesting double change you made in terms of your defensive setup today. What was you just thinking there in terms of taking those fullbacks out and going Doyle and Kellen?
I think first of all with Kellen, I think he's been pushing and he's been having a good pre-season with us and getting closer and closer. And then for some tactical reason, we thought it would be better against a 5-back line to have a natural striker on the last line to the right. Who could dribble and take them on and create some overload situations by dribbling. But it also meant that the fullback position was more inverted and more like a passing player today for us. And that, when that's the case, we wanted Kellen to perform in that role, and I think he did well. And I think defensively as well, he did well and showed real courage in some of the moments, even though he's often a little bit smaller than some of the other strikers.
And of course, one element of that was it releases Callum Doyle to really get forward, and I don't need to ask you to talk about how good he is because you've been asked about that, but that finish today just underlined as well, and also his general play maybe in that first 20-25 minutes he was in the middle of everything.
He's just a natural football player. You can see in his touches and his movements, and we can use him in many positions. I don't think we get to the point where we play him as a 10, but I think in these positions. In the back line, I think he can cover most of them. Calm on the ball, can give us some dominance in the game. Definitely also a threat with his left foot, assist passes and of course today goals. He's heavily involved also in the third goal and also some of the chances that we created.
First league start, full league start for Jose Cordoba today. How do you think he did?
He did well because it was a matter for us to see if we can push them even more back than what we have done so far here at home. And for that to be possible, you need central defenders that can cope with a striker running in behind and cope with some of these situations where you have to run and protect the ball and dealing with a duel and a striker at the same time. And he's really good at that. So it gives us the opportunity to actually push the line of the defenders even higher when we attack, which is I think for us an obvious, even bigger threat for us when we attack.
And obviously, defensively is where you would look at him, but he showed there was one or two when the opportunity's on. He's very comfortable on the ball, getting forward as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I think that's a big part of how we play. We need players that are comfortable on the ball in the back line as well, and are not being. A little bit impatient or not getting stressed by being a little bit under pressure. We should be able to solve these situations, and I think we did in many occasions of the game today. Like I said, also some room for improvement in some areas, but I think overall I'm delighted with the performance and I'm delighted with the goals that we scored, and I think the players really did well.
Just one more on Cordoba. Has that been difficult for him? Maybe not so much for you. Have you had to just speak to him about? Because I'm sure he wants to come in, new club, wants to really be in and amongst it, but maybe just holding him back a little bit. Yeah,
definitely. And we had to sit down and talk with him, especially after the start, where we could see that he picked up a couple of smaller injuries, and we had to make a clear plan for him that it will take a little bit longer. It will take a little bit more time for him to be ready to start and ready to play 90 minutes. So we went with as low risk as possible to build him and make him ready for the season. It took some conversation, but he understood that, and throughout the last 10-14 days, I think that he's been feeling ready, and today was the day.
Top end of the pitch, that's the life of an attacking player. Ball hard this week, gets his reward last week. Frustration for him, but he kept going, and he underlined again, he is a very good finisher in those situations.
He is, and for him to improve, it's about the emotions in the game, because he needs to accept that he plays in a position where he will miss a lot of chances. That's part of the game. It happens for the best strikers in the world. That's just a part of the game. It's about how you react to that and how you respond to that and how you only focus on the next action. He can still do some improvement in that area of the game, but he's working hard. He's working hard for the team. He creates so many dangerous situations, and he's a great finisher. So I'm looking forward to see where he will go in 1 or 2 years' time, because he's a player really taking some steps.
Safe to say, by looking at your body language, did you think that first goal the one when he went through in midway through the first half, did you think that was onside too?
From my position, but I think it's also fair to say that I support the yellow guys out there today. So from my position, he looked on, but yeah, you never know.
Kenny McLean today, you were asked after Coventry, and you said you haven't been, with all his performances, maybe quite where you wanted it to be, but you praised his character and how he wants to learn, he's willing to learn, even as an experienced player, but today 2 assists and sparked the third goal as well.
Yeah, and again, he's the heart of the team, and we have these players where they have to have this understanding that it's maybe not for them always to decide the game and score all the goals, but they are the reason why we can score the goals. And I think it's so important for them to have that understanding. They really have to create the balance, the shape in the team, create that flow, create that rhythm. I think definitely he's getting there, and he's eager to play these games, and he's eager to train every day, and he's eager just to make sure that all the others they perform on a high level. It's fantastic for us. So it's also good for a coach, because I can reach out to him throughout the game and communicate and make small adjustments, and he also have an eye for seeing this in the games.
Just to clarify, did Arnell pick up anything? He's obviously come on and has come off again.
Yeah, he felt something in his hamstring, and we felt where the game was, where it was about who will score that next goal. It would not be good for us to have a player on pitch where you could see that he was struggling, and you could see that he could not accelerate in full power. But I spoke to him after, and I think it seems like we picked it up early, so it's nothing too serious, but there was definitely something, and I think, again, like some of the other cases, we decided to go with low risk.
And talking of low risk, I know you were asked yesterday about Slimani. Clearly wasn't felt ready to go today, but any update in terms of maybe moving into Derby week now?
He had a good session today on the training ground, and plan is that he will be with the team what will be Monday or Tuesday with the team, and hopefully also ready to push for a starting position for the game on Saturday in Derby. So that's the plans for now. Of course they can change, but that's the plan so far. And what I heard from the physio is that he had a good day today. So we can be positive.
A couple more if I can. I mean, Liam Gibbs today, was that a tactical or was it?
No, he picked up an injury yesterday towards the end of the session. Really, really unfortunate, and it seems like it's also a muscle injury. We have to scan him, and we have to wait and see, but it can be a situation where it's more than just a couple of weeks.
Okay. And just final one, any update with those 2 coaching appointments? Would ideally, in an ideal world, pre-Derby, is it too early to say at this stage?
Both yes and no. Like I said before this game here, I think what we have at the moment is a very good connection to the academy. So we have great support, and it's support from guys who have been around the team from day one. Supported in pre-season, have supported in the season so far. So there's no rush. Like I said, we knew that Narcis had this ambition. So it also means that we have names on the paper, but it's for us to find that best candidate and not for us to rush it through. So I'm more than pleased with the 2 guys supporting the backroom staff today, because they did well. And it also means that we can take the time that we need to find the best possible replacements.
Thanks, Johannes.
Thank you.
A flying start by your side. I've just been so pleased at how they started the game, because you scored after 3 minutes. It could have been 1-0 after 1.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Couldn't it? Such a strong start. What do you put that down to?
We spoke a lot about the start we did in Swansea, where we were not satisfied, and I think the approach, and there's also some psychology in it, where the approach and also what you show to the opposition, and if you start well, then of course they have to bring their best game to be able to compete, and also of course for us when we play at home to bring the crowd and involve the crowd in the game, and I think that's huge advantage for us if we can do it. So that was really something that we focused on and will be going forward for us.
And finally, you played 6 games now, 8 points. I mean, how do you reflect on that start of the season?
Points wise, still not enough. I think there was more points in some of the games for us than we took, and that's why we are here where we are. But I think the performances are getting better, and I think even though we were not fully satisfied with the Swansea game, we could still see that there was actually some improvement in the amount of created chances, in the entries on the final third and so on. But we were still not satisfied. But we're improving and we're getting better, and I think this performance today was another step in a good direction where we're not even close to being satisfied with what we perform and what we do. But it's also because we have high expectations. But we eventually we get there. So it's about getting as many points as possible.
Johannes, just one from me. How much of a relief is it to get that first home win in front of the fans? Because you'd had elements of the performance against Blackburn, second half, Sheffield United.
Yeah.
How important was it for you to get the pressure off the back, first home league win?
Yeah, it is. It's for the staff members. It's for the players. I think actually mostly for the players, because I've kept telling them, Monday after Monday, that I actually think that we are doing well and we're doing also more than enough to win more games than what we have done. But also keep showing them that we are on the right track, that we are doing the things that we are supposed to do, and it's about time. But of course, you don't have unlimited amount of time. At some point, you need to pick up some wins. So it is important, but I think it's actually very important for the players to get that 3 points based on a good performance, ready to take the next step.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers.